Hi everyone, my name is Blake Powers. I'm a systems analyst here with Recreation Grants. My role is to design and implement and support the Recreation Grants online grant management system. And today I just want to talk to you about a couple of changes that are going to be coming to the Project Elements form next week. All right. For those of you who are receiving this email, some of you have never had an awarded project in the new system. And if that's the case, then you can ignore this. This video is really geared towards those users who have already been exposed to the form and have used it, and who will have to use it differently beginning next week. If you move forward and you someday have an awarded project in the system, or if you do have an awarded project but you've never used this form before, then all of the instructions will be linked in the emails that you received when something is added as a task to this form. Okay, so in this case, we have an example of the current form, and we'll know that it's the current form because you'll see save buttons here in the top area of the form where you're used to seeing them on the other forms, right? In this case, there are two items that have been asked for, an AP 15210s form and a direct deposit form. When these items are added, as you know, and this is redundant for most of you, but you get an email from the system that says there's a new item added for your project. It tells you the application name, what your project is called, and what the item required is. And here's the link to how to use the documentation or how to use the form. This link will update once these changes are live in our production system. This link will take you to current support that will show you how to use the new version of the form, which is actually a module, but this link will be updated, okay? It'll be the same link, you'll see it the same way, but when you click on it, it will link to a different item, okay? And that item will be specific to what I'm about to show you. But in this case, when this happens, you get your email, you come to the Project Elements form, and your option is to click to complete a task is to click Choose File, right? Upload your documentation, whatever that is, all right, and then click Save, okay? At that point, as most of you already know, the process that gets initiated is this turns into a yield sign. The yield sign simply means that you've uploaded something, but it's not yet been approved, right? But there's no other action you can take. You can save the form a million times, but there's nothing that you as the sponsor can do at this point, right? This is how the form looks. All right, that would be an example of how a task is added by our team, and then you would upload it using the old form. In the new form, it's a very small distinction, but one of the first things that you'll notice is there is no save option up here. And that is because this is not a form, it is a module. The reason that this upgrade has been made is because in the old form, every time we click save, each element of this form has to compile and double check itself and then resave itself. Well, we were experiencing in very small percentage of projects, some of these tasks were just becoming blanks, and they were deleting some of the documentation that was uploaded. So there was a bit of data loss, and that's probably because when this form gets big enough, there's simply too much here to compile for the routine to actually finish, okay? So what we did was simplify that process, all right? In the new module, you will not see a save button, but in this case, a task has been added to you, or for you to complete. This is how you would complete the task. You would get the same email that you always get. If you click to the link here, it will take you to the new documentation that will be uploaded next week that goes with the new form. But the change is really simple. Instead of clicking the Choose File button, which will still work, but the problem is you won't be able to save anything, right? If I try to do that, there's nothing to save. So that's not going to change anything. What has to happen is, and I'll refresh this form just so there's no confusion, right? You'll see nothing saved there. What I need to do is click Edit and then click Choose File, all right? At that point, I'll make my upload, all right? And when I make the upload, you notice that a Save button is here, all right? I'll simply click Save over here instead of up here as I did in the old form. And that's it. That's the only change. When I've done it successfully, everything else looks the same. The icon looks the same. And now you'll notice it's taken my file name, which was test, and it's added all these characters at the end of it. Don't worry about that. That is a coding thing in the system so that each and every form uploaded for the rest of the life of the system will be uniquely identified with this link. That will just double insure us against any other kind of duplication or data loss, all right? And that's it. That's the only change. From there, everything else is the same. Your grant coordinator will log in, they'll look at the upload, they'll approve it. If they approve it, there'll be a green checkbox and you won't be able to do anything to this line anymore, right? So that's really the only difference in the new module. And this video has just been designed to give you a little heads up about the changes. Nothing too drastic, but there will be some changes coming next week. As always, if you have questions, you can shoot us an email or give us a call. We'll be happy to go over the changes with you and walk you through any kinds of questions or issues you may be having. But we don't expect this to have a very big impact for most of you. And mostly this is just for informational purposes so that you won't be freaked out when you pull the form up next week and there's no save buttons up here. Okay? Thanks everybody for your time. And again, please contact us if you have any questions.